Different snake species hunt different animals. Constrictors can kill and swallow large animals whole, such as deer, while small venomous snakes will hunt rodents and other small game. However, hunts don't always go as planned. If you want to see what I mean, keep watching, because we're getting started. In our thumbnail, a deer is being swallowed by a large constrictor, but it looks like the deer's ears have pierced through the large snake's head, which is quite unlikely. But in the wild, anything is possible. Number 15. Mongoose versus snake. In the wild, black mambas have few predators. Her adversary, the slender mongoose, a well-known snake hunter, is preparing to confront her. Although deadly, the mamba is not particularly aggressive. Her venom enables her to subdue and immobilize her prey. Toxins in the snake venom bind to chemical receptors in the victim's bodies, interfering with nerve and muscle communication. Because the receptors on mongooses have changed, venom simply bounces off their muscle cells. The mongoose's method of exhaustion is to dance circles around its prey. The final shot is lethal. The spine is separated from the back of the head with a single snap. The snake isn't dead, but it's immobile. The gain outweighs the risk for the mongoose. A 7-foot snake is a hearty meal for such a small predator. A dwarf mongoose battles a deadly opponent, a black mamba, in the Kruger National Park. The mongoose was thought to be attempting to keep the snake away from its nearby burrow. Mongooses are known to consume rats, birds, and snakes, but this massive black mamba is not your typical meal. However, the mongoose will not back down from a fight or a meal. This pet mongoose discovers it challenges a Cape cobra in his home. Because the mongoose is a snake killer, the cobra should flee as soon as it can. The only issue is it must first get past the mongoose. As soon as it gets outside, the cobra flees and heads for the open field. But the mongoose is in hot pursuit. The cobra is aggressive and strikes the mongoose several times in this video, but the mongoose is quick and avoids being hit. The mongoose is normally confident when approaching a cobra and is very careful and smart, so the snake cannot make contact. Mongooses don't win all their fights against snakes, but they are successful often, just as in this video when the mongoose actually escapes, but we don't see how it ends. And we don't know if it was able to kill the snake. Number 14. King snake versus rattlesnake. Humans are not harmed by the king snake, which is typically docile and makes an excellent pet. In the wild, they eat a wide variety of foods, including rodents and venomous snakes, both of which are deadly to people. Even if you despise snakes, the king snake is undoubtedly the one that will persuade you otherwise if you do your homework. Another rattlesnake is swallowed whole by the king snake in this video. This rattlesnake is no match for a king snake. After coiling itself around the cat rattlesnake, the king snake begins to swallow it whole. The common king snake gets its name from its propensity of preying on other snakes, such as rattlesnakes and copperheads, whose venom they are impervious to. Even within their own species, king snakes can be cannibalistic. They can live for 30 years or more in captivity. In this video, a king snake attacks and eats a Mojave rattlesnake. The king snake is immune to rattlesnake's venom, so it makes it a lot easier to hunt. This king snake is someone's pet, and he was fed a rattlesnake for lunch. The king snake is in the middle of his lunch in this video, and it's just a matter of time before the king snake swallows its meal whole. Number 13. Honey badger versus python snake. In this video, a honey badger has climbed a tree to attack and kill a python. The honey badger can be seen biting into the large snake's body, and all the snake can do is hope the badger slips and falls. During this night hunt, a honey badger comes across a puff adder, and it doesn't take long for the badger to kill and eat the snake. But wait, the adder had time to bite the badger, so when the venom kicks in, it knocks the badger out. Not a problem. All that means is the honey badger will wake up with breakfast in bed. Number 12. Ferret versus snake. The ferret is a subspecies of the polecat which was domesticated for hunting in ancient times. This small mammal's innate daring causes them to plunge recklessly into any hole in the hopes of forcing its prey out. However, it appears this snake is larger than the polecat had anticipated. It is approximately twice the size of the hunter and is a constrictor despite not being venomous. Tables could be turned at any time. The snake is taken aback by the polecat's fury, but if the hunter fails to sink its teeth near the snake's base of its skull, the snake may still be able to flee. This prey was too much for the polecat, and it took a lot of energy to catch it. Weasels have a wide range of habitats, from grasslands, sand dunes, lowland forests to upland moors, and even towns, anywhere where there is suitable food. This weasel grabs onto this snake's tail just when the snake is trying to escape. You would think it was the other way around and the weasel would run if it ever saw a snake, but no, the weasel is the hunter in this video. And it's a pretty good one if you ask me. The weasel demolishes the poor snake in minutes. A group of individuals were strolling down the street when they noticed a mink running across the road ahead of them. The mink had cornered what appeared to be a northern water snake about 24 inches long by the time they arrived. They watched as the mink nibbled the snake's tail off before diving beneath the water to get the head. The mink killed the snake after several attempts to drag it out from beneath a rock, but the snake's body was already wedged between the rocks. The mink would occasionally look at them but would immediately return to their activity. Number 11. Chicken versus cobra. Look at how this hen protects her chicks from this aggressive cobra. The hen steers her chicks away from the dangerous reptile while fending off the snake. It remains between the snake and the chicks to prevent the snake from approaching them. The snake gets close to the chicks, but not close enough. The hen in this video does everything in her power to fend off this hungry cobra that wants to eat her chicks. She flaps her wings, jumps up in the air, yells obscenities at the snake, and says a few prayers. Even after her chicks escape, she returns to tell the snake to bug off. A snake can be seen slithering into a large hole serving as a nest for a hen and her chicks. When the rooster sees the snake approaching, he steps aside and lets mama do the talking. She guides the small chicks away from the snake and makes sure she stands in the snake's way. And she doesn't move, ready to deal with another attack. Number 10. Leopard versus python. This leopard manages to bite a python and drag it a few meters on the ground. But at one point, the leopard lets go of the snake, which returns into the water the moment it can. Leopards are bold predators that are more than capable of tackling larger prey, even though mature pythons can weigh over 90 kilos. This leopard starts a fight with a rock python, Africa's largest species of snake, as her attentive cub watches. The big cat is hesitant, making sure it doesn't become entangled with the snake, which could mean a slow death for the cat. However, the leopard is agile and quick. I don't think it's in any danger. The python almost gets it in a hold, but the leopard can jump out of there quickly as it keeps pouncing on the snake, with her cub approaching, trying to help. Number 9. Bunny versus snake. When a mama rabbit defends her nest, all bets are off. Even against the snake, the bunny is not funny. This event occurred while the people living there were working in their garden. They did not interfere and let nature take its course. It looks like the snake gave up when the rabbit did a job on it. This bunny rabbit isn't messing around when it pounces on a snake and teaches it a lesson or two. The snake tries to flee, but the rabbit pursues him. To spice things up, the rabbit does a few big kick combos and a backward flip. This bunny rabbit scares the living daylights out of a snake, so much so that the snake escapes and slithers up a tree to get as far away as possible from the crazy rabbit. Certain rabbits are amazing snake killers, and here is another rabbit taking a snake for a ride on a dirt road. The snake tries to slither into the bush, but the rabbit keeps launching attacks at the snake. This rabbit puts on a show to remember when this snake makes him do all kinds of hops and somersaults. The rabbit isn't afraid of the snake and chases it until the reptile can't take it any longer and slithers up a tree to escape the crazed bunny. Number 8. Cat versus snake. The mother cat is extremely protective and may exhibit hair-trigger temper tantrums. When cats encounter something or someone unfamiliar, they instinctively react with what some call a stranger danger alert. So, you can just imagine how upset this mother cat is when this snake tries to get to her kittens. She is hissing and warning the snake not to get closer, but the snake is not small, and it's dangerous, even for the mother. It's a python, so it's non-venomous, but it can still deliver a mean bite and strangle the mother. The mother strikes the snake and jumps out of the den so it can flank it. The snake faces the mother, but the mother jumps back up again. She's trying to figure out the best way to counter the snake, but she better act fast because the snake is looking at all the kittens straight in the face. The cat jumps on the snake and delivers several blows. The two animals are engaged, and the snake is feeling the wrath of the cat. She bites the snake on the head and manages to throw it off the cliff. Now, that was one of the most fascinating displays of courage and bravery I've ever seen in a long time. I mean, that python was huge and it had a big head. And a small cat like that is no leopard or cougar. Even these larger felines have trouble with pythons, so kudos to Mommy for its killer performance. This bobcat can defend itself against this python. It has the tools to strike the python where it hurts, so I don't think the snake will be able to capture the cat. As it approaches the bobcat, the feline stands its ground and strikes the snake with its paws, while the snake tries to flank the cat but can't because the bobcat is fierce. This cat protects herself and her kittens against a huge snake, but after she strikes the snake a few times with her paws, as she backs up because the snake is extremely aggressive, lunging at the cat relentlessly, it's not easy, and I don't know if she gets away. When a snake tries to attack a cat inside a small box, the cat strikes the snake a few times, and it's enough to force the snake to change his mind. Number 7. Tiger versus snake. Onlookers watch this young female tiger play with a python on the side of a dirt road. Python fought back, and the tiger, being inexperienced, sort of backed off. A black and white film shows a python fighting a tiger, and it looks like the snake is getting the upper hand and suffocates the tiger to death. How often do we see this type of ending when a tiger is involved in a fight? Not very often, I must tell you. Next, another black and white film with a python fighting a tiger again, but this time it looks like the snake is losing, and after a few moments it decides to flee, as it can be seen slithering away from the tiger. Number 6. Alligator versus python. In this video, you can see what an alligator and a python fight looks like underwater. When the alligator grabs the snake in its mouth, it appears to have the upper hand, but it doesn't last long after the snake frees itself and flees. This video shows the incredible moment a massive alligator starts throwing around this prey, an equally huge Burmese python. The video was taken in the Shark Valley Visitor Center, located in the heart of the Everglades in South Florida. An alligator encounters a python in this video, and once again, it's the alligator that comes out on top, even though the python fought valiantly and hard. Because of their powerful jaws, large alligators have a significant advantage over pythons. The alligator in this video grips the python with a force of about 2,000 pounds per square inch and manages to kill and eat it during the battle. Number 5. Porcupine versus snake. This porcupine uses his behind to charge the snake as he attempts to stab the snake with his quills. When the porcupine runs into the water to escape, the snake pursues it, but nothing more unravels. No, this snake is not the lead singer of some punk rock group. He made the mistake of eating a porcupine and is now suffering the consequences. He should have stuck to the regular rodent diet. Number 4. Frog versus snake. The nocturnal Australian water python patrols the soggy land surrounding the river's edge. However, even the apex predators must be wary because the invasive cane toads are loose upon the marshes. The toad's skin secretes a deadly toxin that will kill almost any attacker foolish enough to consume it. This snake quickly finds out what it's like to attack a venomous frog. Looks tasty at first, but eventually it leaves a bad and deadly taste in the snake's mouth, enough to drop the frog and forget about it. Very large grass snakes are no longer interested in small frogs, but only in large ones. The little frog on the grass snake's path probably didn't have to flee at all, but it didn't take a chance and jumped to freedom when the snake got too close. Number 3. Dog versus snake. These 5 dogs surround and attack a king cobra. The dogs grab the cobra and pull it in their own direction, putting a lot of stress on the snake's body. With all the pulling and biting, the dogs eventually kill the snake. This snake is a little more aggressive as it lunges at this dog to try and strike it. But as soon as the dog can bite the snake to mangle it, the snake is terminated. These 2 dogs are fighting over a snake as one of the dogs pulls it out of the grass and the other dog pulls it back in. The snake is still alive and still has the strength to lunge at the dogs, but the dogs mangle the reptile badly. I must say, this is one tough snake. Number 2. King cobra versus rat snake. The king cobra in this video is about to eat. He sunk his teeth into an ambushed rat snake, shot a dose of neurotoxin into it, and is now about to swallow it whole. Don't say I didn't warn you. In this video, a king cobra can be seen eating a rat snake. The king cobra is a venomous snake species of elapids, endemic to jungles in southern and Southeast Asia. This snake makes its powerful home in forests and swamps and can grow up to 18 feet long. The reptile's toxic bite is powerful enough to kill an elephant. Number 1. Ants versus snake. The diversity of creatures in Indonesia is exceptionally large, which implies there are many potential prey items for these snakes. A striped keelback, one of these deadly serpents, has ambushed a bat. The snake's body is curled around its prey and it isn't about to let go. Another challenger has entered the ring while the snake is distracted by the bat. When you look closely, you'll notice these ants aren't just scattering, they're attacking. It's a legion of predatory killer weaver ants, and they're posing a threat to both the snake and the bat. Weaver ants, like many other ants, are colonial, which means they hunt in large groups and have a severe bite. They'll exaggerate the bite symptoms by spraying it with formic acid afterwards. The murderous serpent will not give up its well-earned prey, but it is in excruciating pain from the hundreds of stinging bites it has received. The snake tries to drag the bat away from danger, but it is too heavy for it. There are just 2 options for the snake remaining: stay and finish the job, or release the bat and lose its food. The snake bolts, fleeing to safety of the brush, and the bat miraculously survives. As a result, the ants are the clear winners, and the bat will live to see another day thanks to the ants. Crocodile versus python. When this crocodile meets up with a python, he decides to have a little fun with the snake and takes the python for the ride of his life. Except the ride is everything but entertaining for the snake. The crocodile badly mangles the snake until the snake can no longer defend itself. It's clear after seeing these videos that snakes are not always the meanest dogs. My favorite has to be the Kung Fu rabbit that pulled all those pirouettes while fighting the snake. Which one was your favorite? Why don't you let us know in the comments below? Well, that's it for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.